Hi, I'm Debbie Young and I'm here in the market town of Camden to follow a day in its life, to find out about the place, the people and the all-important shopping. What is it that makes Camden so popular and brings around 200,000 people to its streets every week? The market began in the early 1970s when businessman Eric Reynolds bought the lease of the old timber yard previously owned by Dingwalls. He rented space out cheaply to 5 art students who mainly sold jewellery. Then, when plans to build an extension of the M1 through here were abolished in the mid-70s, the market began to grow and thrive. The area now comprises a street market that runs the length of the town, an indoor market and the lock market next to the Grand Union Canal. The old hospital for retired barge horses now houses a stables market where all the antiques are sold. Last but not least, the most recently opened bit of the market is underground. The catacombs used to belong to Gilbey's Vintners, a successful gin manufacturer whose patronage to the town made it the focus of the world's gin industry. The indoor hall by the lock is the only new building in the market. Opened in 1991, it was designed and built along the lines of the Victorian buildings that preceded it. Camden has been home to many interesting events in the past, from the writing of The Time Machine by H.G. Wells to the more recent rise and fall of TVAM. But today I'm interested in the here and now. What is it that makes Camden tick? I've got a bit of inside help from an established stallholder, and that's where I'm off to now, to meet Chris.
How's that way up? Hello.
This is Chris, and
Hello
he's
there.
had a stall in Camden for
About 4 years.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, you've got some lovely unusual clothes here. You sell second-hand clothes and period clothes.
Thank you, darling.
Where do you get them all from?
Well, all over the. I mean, a lot of places. Holland, most of the time, most of the stuff. But the English stuff and that is from here, from like old stately homes and old schools and colleges and things like that.
So, I mean, how do you pick them up, though? I mean, you don't go and raid these stately homes, do you?
No, we have people.
You don't burgle them.
No, I don't.
Do you?
But I know people who do. No, we have people that actually go out and. I mean, believe it or not, but there are actually hoarders all over the country that enjoy going around in old people's attics and things like that, and going through and finding old clothes and then getting them together and coming to people like us or to theatre people and selling them. I'm tripping over
Tripping
here.
over the wire here, darling.
Now I know what it's like for Des O'Connor.
I know, exactly like that.
And all that.
Who buys them, though? Mainly tourists or young, funky Camden people?
Well, it's both. I mean, there's a certain time of the year when there's all tourists, because I mean European tourists come over, mainly Italians and French, really. And then, of course, when the summer comes, it's when the Americans hit town, and they want something classically English, and that's how it works, really. But it's a mixture of both, you know, some English people.
So you get loads of subcultures coming in too.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Chris, what kind of things can you buy in Camden?
Within the market, the whole market. It's kind of a cross-section of everything, you know, from cheap tat to arts and crafts to second-hand antique period clothing, like we have here.
So where do you recommend I start my shop in Camden?
Here?
Rebel, rebel, you torn your dress. Rebel, rebel, your face is a mess. Rebel, rebel, how could they know? Hot tramp, I love you so.
If I asked you what the essence of Camden Market was, could you sum it up for me?
A diversity of people from all over the world, I think, is probably the main attraction of Camden. Is you just get a mixture of Europeans, Japanese, Americans, and a very good North London-based crowd as well. I mean, it does get very busy, but I think the trouble from a sort of retail angle is it seems to be that it's more the place to be seen rather than to be shopping.
I think the attraction with Camden is that there's a lot of different things, and I think just the name of Camden, you know.
Why do you think Camden is so popular?
Well, Portobello in the 70s was the sort of in place in Carnaby Street, you know. In the 80s and the 90s, Camden Town is the in place, you know. So, like, I mean, people, it's a bit like a festival. I mean, it's more like a festival on a Sunday than a Saturday.
Yeah.
But it's like people, they want this sort of contact with other people, and they want a bit of colour, and they want a bit of, you know, they want something a bit happening in their life, so they come here for that. You know, it's like King's Road, also in the whatever 70s used to be that sort of place, you know.
But now this is the place to come.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it gives people a bit of culture, a bit of entertainment, a bit of street credibility.
Tell me, why is Camden so popular?
Because the variety of people, I mean, different nationalities.
Yeah.
It's like the mixing pot.
In 1988, Camden Council managed to pass a preservation order on the fine old ABC bakery which stood on this site. Unfortunately, the order was passed the day after the building was demolished. What stands in its place now resembles a discarded set from the film Blade Runner, posing as a Sainsbury's supermarket. It's widely regarded to be the best pulling site in the whole of the borough. Cruising with a trolley has been elevated to an art form. Different days are allocated to different sexual persuasions, and when it comes to Saturday, that's a real free-for-all. Me, I'm just here for the tagliatelle. Thanks a lot. That's enough shopping for now. I think I'll go and see how Chris is doing, and it's off for a spot of lunch. Now what's this? This is new. You weren't wearing this morning.
No, that's right. It's a bit of stock. Is that the stock? It's the new stock coming in.
Is it? So
yeah,
it's
£35.
Chris from
Archie's. Stables Market.
Camden.
Saturday and Sunday. 10 till 6-ish.
There you
Drinks
go.
afterwards.
Yeah, oh, I'll stay for that. Listen, how's it been this morning? Busy, quiet?
Yeah, it's been okay. I mean, now is the time. It's always after 2 because people have like had lunch, had a couple of drinks, and then they go. But you know, you do, don't you? If you go shopping, that's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have something to eat, have a couple of drinks,
Chill
and then
out, and then go for the hard sell.
That's right.
So there you go. So you're going to get busier.
I hope so. We better.
I know. Now, you've mentioned lunch, Chris. Now, there's more choice here than your average sandwich bar. So where do you suggest I go for lunch?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not big on mass production food that's probably been cooked a couple of days before. So I go to upstairs, the sort of sandwich. You know, it's cold food and it's fresh, and I like to, you know, that's me. You know, I don't like this sort of where they make sort of for 300 people a chop suey curry sort of thing, because I mean, you know, it's been like boiled to death So I always stick to avocado, tomatoes, salad, things like that.
Can't go wrong.
That's right.
Till you clean off your plate, so eat it. Don't you tell me you're full, just eat it. Eat it. Get yourself an egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Oh! Your table manners are a crying shame. You're playing with your food the same some kind of game. Now if you starve to death, you'll...
Chris, the shopping and the food are very varied. Do you find the crowd here as weird and wonderful?
Weird and wonderful? No. No, I mean, it depends, you know, some weekends there's such a colourful, and there's real buzz going around, you know, when it's busy, because there's all different types of people and all different types of fashion and everything else, and so it can be really buzzy. And other times it can just be hideous English people, or hideous, you know, whatever. It's like really flat, and you feel sort of, I don't want to be here. But other times it can be really buzzy.
Have you got any celebrity gossip, any stars that come and shop at Archie's?
Stars. I mean, there's no one in particular. I mean, I think I mentioned that Gaultier comes here a lot, Jean-Paul Gaultier, but he's a real market person. There's like Mark Ullman's a very much a market person. He's always down here. And there's you know, you see like Kylie and people and that coming through, and they might buy the odd piece, but no one actually on a regular sort of basis. But yeah, you do within the market. You always see, you know, because I mean it's quite a funky little place to be sometimes, and you know, we're the best in Europe, aren't we, for this sort of invention of doing our own thing. So people come down to see the big melting pot that goes on. Yeah. You know, that's what we're famous for.
Why do you come here? And why do you hang around?
Hiya Dave. What is this attraction you have with such a very unusual art form?
Well, I love it. I think it's real live, raw and dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah. What sort of clientele do you have here? I mean, what sort of people come to have bits of their body pierced?
I've pierced doctors, nurses, bank managers, psychiatrists, prostitutes, strippers, drug addicts, everybody. People from all walks of life come here.
Would you say that piercing is an addictive experience?
I would, yeah.
I thought you would.
It's a ritual. We are ritual animals. Nowadays in society we don't have so many rituals as we used to do, but that is what it is. It's a blood ritual. A lot of people come for a piercing. Maybe they see an eyebrow piercing or a belly button or a nipple and come and have their first piercing done without realising what they're getting into.
What is the most painful place to have pierced?
Well, believe it, a lot of people ask this question, and I think they're thinking that you're going to say with some of the genital piercings, which I've had a lot of work done down there. But the most painful place is this one.
Really?
Shell of the ear. The ear is packed with nerves. It's so sensitive you can't sleep after it. It's murder. Awful.
How many exactly have you got in your body at any one time?
Generally I end up with about 23, 25 at any given time, but I tend to have phases. I get bored with some and take them out, put other ones in. Yeah. So just depends on how I feel at the time, really.
How exactly did you get into body piercing, Dave?
Well, when I was about 14, some of my friends were getting their ears pierced, and some of them, the odd one had their nose pierced, which I didn't really fancy, but I did fancy having my nipples pierced, although I'd never seen any before. So determination is a powerful ally, I think you'll find, in situations like that. And after a bit of experimentation, I managed to actually pierce my nipples, initially with safety pins, but I still have the same piercings now, which I'm going to show you.
Whoa. And so how old were you when you first did these then?
14. 14. They used to make me wear a t-shirt in the school swimming pool for some reason. But I mean, as you can see, I haven't been able to leave myself alone since then. So
can you show us a bit more?
Got a sweaty belly button. Probably not actually, but
But let's just say you have bits in other places then.
yeah. We've been all over with the needle. Let's say, yeah.
Oh, you just had your finger pierced. But can I have a look? Did it hurt?
No,
How much was it to have done?
£20.
Aileen, briefly explain what you do here, what service you offer.
Right, well we do henna painting. It just stains the skin for about 2 to 4 weeks. It's a natural brown colour, and we do black as well, but that's only in the hands and feet. It's traditionally used for Arabic weddings, Indian, Sudanese weddings, but we do any kind of designs that you want because it's all freehand, wherever you want them.
It's a very, very good idea. I might check it out myself. It's less painful than a body piercing. That's a fact. And what do you think attracts people to Camden Market?
I don't know, just because it's meant to be alternative and there's a lot of alternative people around, and in other cities there's not much else there, so people don't mind travelling for some good stuff.
The culture, isn't it? There's no other place like it in the world. I've been Venice Beach, I've been everywhere, and there's nowhere like it. This drug culture makes it come together, doesn't it?
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of drugs in Camden.
Well, everybody smokes together and shit, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But what does Camden mean to you? I mean, why do you think it's so popular?
Actually, I think it's the atmosphere more than anything else. It's not so much what's here. I think there's quite a nice atmosphere here, you know, it's sort of free and easy, I suppose. People quite like that.
Oh, I like it because more or less now it's not only cosmopolitan, it's international. You know, it really is. People from all over the world, and I mean they mix in very, very well.
What do I think brings a crowd? Just a very cosmopolitan atmosphere, all the different characters, there's stuff from all over the world here. It's like a world scene, you know, it's nowhere like it, not few places like it in the world.
The different people, a mixture of things to do. Yeah.
There's a lot of happy young people here.
Can I just ask what you're doing here with this piece of orange hair?
What we're doing is to do a blow right straight, to do some extensions like her hair.
So is this all extensions you have in your hair?
Yeah, everything is extension.
How long did it take to do? It's absolutely fabulous.
It's one hair like her, it takes about 6 hours, the mine takes 4 or 5 hours. It's from 2 hours to, can be like 48 hours, some words.
Anyway, I think you both look wonderful, so I'll let you get on with your orange hair. Thank you.
These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Dr. Martens originated as orthopaedic footwear. Today they've become an item in the dress codes of the many cultures that frequent Camden. I'm outside Holt's, one of the oldest shoe shops in London. Here they have a whole range of Dr. Martens in different styles, colours, sizes, everything. Hello there, Nick.
Hello there, all right.
I just want to ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah,
can you tell me, have you seen a change in the type of people that have been wearing Dr. Martens?
Yeah, of course. Over the years, I mean, it's gone from sort of your mods to your skinheads to your gothics to your grunge to your sort of new age travellers types. I mean, there's all sorts of different fads that all seem to adopt the DM image.
You've mentioned a bit about the different subcultures that use Dr. Martens, but what about the age range? Is that quite diverse?
Oh yeah, very much so. I mean, we get people in here from sort of, you know, your babies, barely out of sort of still in nappies, barely out of the sort of the mummy's tummy, to sort of granddads. I mean, we've got lots of regular customers who are sort of 80, 90.
Really?
Yeah, there was one old girl that was, I think she was 94, and she was wearing DM shoes. Now that's a woman.
That's
so,
cool.
Well, I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So they go from kiddies 6s, you know, your tiny shoes, right through to huge, massive 15s.
Now, Nick, I know that you sell thousands and thousands every week, but can you divulge any famous names?
Well, probably the most famous one is Madness. I mean, they always used to hang around here. They used to record upstairs. They were very good friends with my granddad. He sort of took them under his wing. When they didn't have two openings to rub together, he used to feed them, clothe them and boot them. And they, I mean, when they got very famous, they sort of, you know, the fame came to this shop basically because they were known as local boys. They still are, a lot of them.
Nick, what do you think the attraction of Camden is?
Oh, I don't know.
On the spot?
The money? No, it's a lot of things, I suppose, isn't it? It's like everywhere else. If you get lots of people coming to it,
you're always going to get people following that because they think they're missing something. I mean, on the weekends it's jam-packed here. A lot of it is tourists who, you know, sort of think London's is the be-all and end-all, and Camden sort of personifies that, doesn't it?
Are you ready, Boots? Start walking.
Chris, I've spoken to some very interesting people today, but I've come to pick your brains for one last time. If I asked you to sum up Camden in a few words, could you?
God. Fun, exciting, bohemian, sexy, big melting pot, you know, I don't know. What else? Tribal, ethnic, cultural, all them and more.
Chris, another day, another dollar. I suppose you'll be resting tonight because you have all this tomorrow.
No. It'll be sex, drugs and rock and roll. It's Saturday night. No, I will. I'll rest up for a while and then go out and party and then do it all again tomorrow.
All over again.
That's it.
Well, you've been a complete star today. Thank you very much.
Darling.
And I hope you have a very good weekend.
I'm quite camera shy normally.
Yes, like...
By the way, doesn't the guy on the camera look like George Michael in Get Funky? Look, looks like George Michael.
I'm glad he got that in. He does.
Right.
Anyway, thank you very much. You're a star. You make loads of money and have a good night tonight.
Thank you, sweetie.
Goodbye.
Bye, thank you.
Say I can't carry on no more. I hear them say tomorrow's just another day. I hear them say it gets better every day. I hear them say tomorrow's just another day. Tomorrow's just another day.
It's the end of the working day now. The shops and stalls have closed, the shoppers have all gone home. I'm knackered, my crew's knackered, and the pub is calling. I spent all day on a quest to find out what it is that gives this town its magnetic charm, and I've had many different answers. Some people think it's the King's Road of the 90s, some say it's like a weekly festival, while others simply believe that crowds bring crowds, but most agree that for atmosphere there's nowhere like it. This is a bohemian escapist playground where you can wear, do and be whatever you want. It's a huge melting pot of creeds, colours and cultures happily living side by side. Everyone wants to be part of something, and here they can, because no one is excluded. Whether you want to cruise around Sainsbury's or get bright green bits plaited into your hair, you could do worse than visit Camden.
Sugar Plum Fairy came and hit the streets, looking for soul food and a place to eat. Went to the Apollo, you should have seen him go, go, go. They said, hey sugar, take a walk on the wild side. I said, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. Alright. Huh. Jackie is just speeding away. Thought she was James Dean for a day.